This is a video chart for IC Potash Corp, stock ticker ICP.V, brought to you by allpennystocks.com and baystreet.ca with technical analysis from 123learntotrade.com. Right now we're taking a look at the 15-minute chart of ICP.V going back approximately 1 month in time, and we can see that we've put in a short-term downtrend, and that is defined by this trend line right here that I just drew. And we can see the stock is putting in lower highs and lower lows. But one of the things that isn't too concerning to me about this downtrend is the fact that it's occurring on extremely low volume. If we look down at the volume on the stock, we can see that our volume is around 10 to 15,000 shares, which is very low for this stock. And it's very low in general. So this is just kind of price drifting lower because there aren't too many buyers stepping into the picture right now. We do have another area that I'd like to talk about. And that's an area of support that we're putting in right here around the 43-cent area. And we also see another area that was previous support and is now acting as a little bit of resistance. That's around the 48-cent area. So, we have this short-term downtrend in place. However, as price creeps lower, we should see some buyers come into the picture. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that right now as we switch over to the daily chart. And we're going to spend the rest of our analysis on the daily chart. So let me just remove these lines real quick that I drew from the 15-minute chart because they're a little bit cluttered here. Okay, and this is our daily chart. You can see that average volume for this stock is a little bit over 100,000 shares per day. So right now we're doing extremely low volume while price just kind of drifts away and drifts lower. So what we need to see is we need to see some sort of catalyst spark up the buyers in the market, and that could come in the form of some sort of news event or press release, but it could also come technically in the form of this very strong area of support. So let me just zoom in a little bit here and we'll talk a little bit more about this area. Right around the 40-cent area, we have a very strong area of previous resistance that is now going to act as new support as we reapproach it. So as we see price move sideways here and then some sort of catalyst entered which caused this rise in volume that we can see right here, and price subsequently shot up very quickly all the way up to the 70-cent area. Now we can see that right now we're consolidating a little bit, and here's that short-term downward trend line that I drew on the 15-minute chart. However, right now we're approaching this area of support, and what should happen here is that since there were buyers here in the past, we should see buyers here once again as we reapproach that area. So I would anticipate a rise in volume followed by upward price movement as price reapproaches the 40-cent area on this stock. Now, as we see a reversal come into the picture, we have a few areas of resistance on the way up, but not too many. The first major area around the 50-cent area, and the next major area being this high up here around 70 cents. So we definitely do have some upward room that we put in. There is some potential if we see volume come back into the picture for price to rally quite strongly. I'm also going to zoom out a little bit and talk about a few other areas that we see here a little bit further back in time. And I'm just going to scale my chart over to these areas. Now this is about a year ago here. And we can see that there's one other major area of support below us, and that is all the way down at the 25-cent area. And that's this last line that I just drew right here, between 20 and 25 cents. I'd like to also talk very briefly about where we were in 2008. You can see the stock came from in excess of $3 per share, and to talk about that, I'm going to switch over to the weekly chart real quick. These are all of our lines transferred. You can see the stock spent some time as high as $5.25 and more recently as high as $3 per share. So if we see this sort of high volume come back into the picture, we definitely do have the potential to run up again in price. The stock has shown us that on high volume, it's not afraid of price running up. So if we see high volume come into the picture, we could see another runoff, and you can see that most of the sell-offs in the stock occur on slightly lower volume. So once again, this was a video chart for ICP.V, brought to you by allpennystocks.com and baystreet.ca with technical analysis from 123learntotrade.com. If you'd like to learn more about the techniques that I outlined in this video, feel free to stop by 123learntotrade.com, where I offer private coaching sessions, online video courses, and trading support forums. As always, please remember that these are only 123learntotrade.com's interpretations of ICP.V's stock chart. Investors are always encouraged to do their own due diligence and consult with their financial advisor prior to placing any trades. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Good luck with your trading, everyone, and I'll see you next week for another video chart.